Back here with old friend Mitch Lanzini. You can find him on the hub at Lanzini Auto Body Garage. Is that right?
Bodyworks. Lanzini
Bodyworks Garage. And of course, I mean, come on. If you watch automotive TV at all, you've seen this guy. You painted how many cars on overhauling?
About 25.
Jeez, man, that's awesome. And now, of course, you're a faithful hub member. But more important than all of that, we are standing in front of Mitch's car. Yes, it's done. It's out of the shop. I mean, how long has it been?
Well, I started on about 8 years ago, and we started doing overhauling. This thing's been in the back collecting overhauling dust, and we finally had some time to finish it up, and we thrashed on it and got it here, and I'm just glad to be in Detroit.
Well, when this body and frame and components were all in primer at Mitch's shop, it was actually on a bunch of overhauling episodes.
Yeah, this car is probably featured in quite a few in the background collecting dust.
How happy are you that it's finally together and here at Autorama in Detroit?
I don't even have the words for it. I'm stoked to be here. It was a long haul getting it here. But also, too, a lot of overhauling people worked on this car. I had Walt helping me with it. Rob Phillips, the project manager, did a little work on it. Chip did some design work and helped me with the wheels, of course. And we piggybacked with him in the CUDA. And also just a lot of people from a lot of the A-Team people were here on this car, too. So it's been sort of an overhauling love as well.
What was the last little bit like trying to get it back together? Was it a full-on thrash?
It was not quite overhauling thrash, but it was working some long hours and just putting lists together, things to get done, and it's been great through the whole thing. The car started the first time I turned the key, and it runs. It was good. It didn't quite like the weather here. It didn't want to start, but we got it started. But it wasn't too bad.
How satisfying was it for you to start it all put together? 8 years in the process for you.
Well, you know what's cool about this one? I get to keep it. On overhauling, you fire the car up, and then the owner takes off, burns rubber down the street. This one, when I started it up, I got overhauled.
Well, it's amazing because you put this project off for so long so you could do cars for other people, not only overhauling, but cars for customers as well. How did you find the time to finally get it done? What motivated you to finally get it done?
I think just to get it here. When Chip and I started talking to try and get the car here, and just I sat there and looked at it too long, and the other option was that not finish it and sell it apart, bunch of pieces, and that wasn't going to go. So just started going on it, and it was weekends and evenings, and I mean, there were some full tilt overhauling all-nighters on this car to get it here.
All right, Mitch, 8 years in the process. Where did you start, and what are some of the favorite features on the car?
Well, first of all, this body style, it's a Rat's Glass Speedstar, and I ordered the body and the chassis about 8 years ago, and was in love with it, got it going, and then started doing overhaulings and couldn't do anymore. But it's a killer. It's a 33 coupe. It started out with the hood. It had Brian Fuller, you all know who he is. He bent the hood over at Foos Design, and then just started buying parts for it. And really, motor, all this, putting this thing together, engineering it, and then really didn't start getting going on to it until about 8 months ago. Really getting it going. I mocked things up, but really start fine tuning it. And I mean, Chip designed the interior. I had Gabe Lopez do the interior. Mike Curtis, a lot of billet stuff on this car. It's one off the steering wheel, the rear diff cover, the tie bars, that stuff. Just a lot of stuff that we kind of used on overhauling, but stepped it up. I mean, I don't even know how to tell you. It's just a lot of work, man.
And you took a bunch of pictures that you're going to be posting in your garage on Hub Garage?
Sure, yeah, and we've kind of held on to that because we thought we might be a grade 8 contender, so we didn't really want to spoil that. So now look out, because I'm going to put I got a lot of pictures of this car, the build and all that stuff, and I want everybody to see them.
Lanzini Bodyworks Garage up on the hub, and you're going to be able to see a ton of pictures, like Mitch said. Speaking of Autorama, Detroit, the grade 8, what are some of the things here that have stood out to you?
First of all, the thing is the people, the people from Detroit. I've talked to a lot of people because I've been here 3-4 days already, and I just love the people here. This is really like the hub of car culture. I mean, these people live cars. Everybody I've talked to, somehow or another, they're tied in with the automotive industry. I mean, the automotive industry sort of supports this economy here. So I met one guy that was selling Hot Wheels back there, but he was an overhauling fan, but he said he designs robots that are building the new Camaro. And then other people said he repaired cars or trucks that were delivering cars for Ford. I mean, just everybody is in the automotive industry here. And they had high schoolers here the other day that they came on a field trip the first day because they introduced them to this stuff because this might be their lifestyle, or their occupation. And the hot rods here, the caliber, are pretty nice. I think this is the greatest show in the country. I mean, there's really 2 shows, this and the AMBR, and this is a dream for me to come all the way out here and bring a West Coast guy and a West Coast car out here, and to come with Chip and be here with you too. I mean, it's a little bit of a reunion, so to say, but I love Detroit. We've been having some fun at nighttime. This is a cool place.
And we were definitely having a good time last night at the Eclipse Lounge at the Mob Steel Hub Garage Party. Mitch actually, what's up, brother? Mitch actually got up there on guitar and showed that guy a few licks. You were playing a little Stones out. That was fun, huh?
That was great, man. The only thing that made it better is you up there playing with me.
Oh man, I wish there was another axe I could have grabbed it. And although I'm a little rusty, I've been playing more piano lately. Hey, oh my God, it's an all-star reunion. Chip Foose and Mitch Lanzini coming to you live from Autorama, Detroit, 2009.
Crew right here.
That's right.
This is the heart of it.
This is the late night crew right here.
Now,
I do that every time I talk to you.
Because you make me weep tears of joy. Now, I avoided asking you this question, Chip, but I'm going to ask Mitch this question because I know that, you don't like to give your opinions on things of other people's works, but what stood out to you, especially amongst the grade A contenders?
Just the details, the quality and just the displays. I mean, everything from the display up to the finished product. How much they don't overlook anything. Everything's got to be covered.
My favorite car here is Troy Trepannier's Chrysler 300. And Chip, I know that that you and Troy are very close and are both obviously talented individuals in the car world. What are some of the things that you like about about Troy's 300?
I got to say that it wasn't too long ago. I worked with Troy and we did a couple projects. We did the Predator, and Troy would call me up and he says, this whole hot rod thing, I don't know if I can make a living at it. He says, if I can get one customer, I might be able to do this, but I think I'm just going to go to work with my dad and work in the automotive repair shop. And George Poteet stepped up and wanted to do the 53 Plymouth, the Sniper. And from that point, it has been such a pleasure to watch Troy's career just take off to the point where when I see a car like the Chrysler, I think, what are we doing? That thing is just so beautiful.
How's he going to top that next?
Yeah, and it gives me the drive to go back to the shop and say, okay guys, we got to step it up. And that's what this whole industry is about, is you feed from each other, you look at stuff that people's doing, what people are doing, and you go back and you try to learn from it and take that and create something new from it.
That's a great way to put that. And when we were visiting Troy's shop down in Manteno, I asked him, are we ever going to see Foose and Trepanier in the same Riddler competition? And he said that he hoped so, and he knew what was going to happen. It's like, again, it's just an opinion, whichever one's the best, but he would say yours is the best, and you would say his is the best.
Well, I'm proud of Troy, and I do consider Troy to be one of my better friends, and it's an honor to see where he's gone, as well as some of the other builders. There's Roy Brizio, Steve Mole, Alan Johnson, Barry Lobeck, all these guys that put their heart and soul into these cars to build something that is timeless. And as cool as the cars are, it's the friendships that are made in this industry that'll last longer than the cars.
The friendships, and I was also going to say the family, and Mitch and you and Troy and Steve Mole, all these guys seem to be second generation builders.
Yeah. That's because if you grow up with it as a kid and your dad's into it, it gets into your blood, you can't get rid of it.
And same thing for you too, huh, Mitch?
Yep. To agree with that.
That's very cool. Well, this just turned into a big love fest since Foose showed up. I'm actually enjoying
to see if you're going to join us because we got a sign in 3 minutes.
Well, you know that is the end of this segment because we're off to address the masses here at Detroit Autorama 2009. Chip, Mitch, Chris, you're on the hub, baby.
Hey, I'm Mitch Lanzini. You're on the hub here at the Autorama in Detroit.
I'm Mitch Lanzini, and you're not.
Hi, I'm Chip Foose, and you're not.
Hi, I'm Mitch Lanzini, and you're watching the hub at Detroit Autorama 2009.